Hey guys, it's Saru, and I had the opportunity to try out the brand new upcoming MMORPG called Palia. Now, I have covered this game in the past. I think it was 2021 when I first heard of it. It really intrigued me, so I've kind of stuck around and I've looked into it, and I was invited to partner up with Singularity 6 for Palia. So with that out of the way, let's get right into it. So, I was invited very early on to try out the game in its early access state before the closed beta actually started for everybody else. So getting into the game, you get to start out with two body types. You're not really limited in how exactly you want to look, but if you wanted to look a little more feminine or a little more masculine, then you can. I did find the graphics, or I guess the options for creating your character, a little reminiscent of Sea of Thieves. I know a lot of people would say Fortnite, and I do see the Fortnite similarity along with Dauntless, but something really reminded me, I guess, of Sea of Thieves. I'm not really sure why. So there were a lot of limitations when it came to the hair, to the cosmetics, and as well to how you wanted to kind of customize your character, which I feel if you're going to create something really interesting, you really want to focus on uniqueness, right? So you can't necessarily customize your character as much as you'd like. So I will say that I was a little bit let down when it came to this aspect. Something about the game that I have always kind of felt really weird about is that you as a player are all human. So there's a whole story. I'm not going to do any spoilers. This whole review is not going to be a spoiler review, so don't worry about that. But in this world where humans are very rare to be seen because they don't really exist, I guess is the best way for me to put it, you do see a lot of characters that are kind of like elves and dark elves and such. Really, a lot of it reminded me of World of Warcraft for some strange reason, just kind of the aesthetic, I think, which I guess is if World of Warcraft and Fortnite had a baby. In the initial start of the game, I did notice that I was dropping frames just starting the game. I wasn't necessarily sure if this was due to the fact that I had shadows on. Just the auto detection of the game itself kind of set everything to epic, which I guess it should, but I did find that if I lowered the view distance, which honestly I don't necessarily need that much of a view distance, especially in this kind of MMO, it did help quite a bit. Getting more further into the game, I found the movement to be pretty fun. I did, however, wish, which I guess I should save this for down the line, but I might as well just mention it now, is when I was climbing things, sometimes I felt like I was a spider because I was just climbing everything, and I did realize that you can jump down with X afterwards, but sometimes I felt like even though you didn't really want to kind of climb, it would do that anyways if you were close to a surface. That said, I really enjoyed the fact that this game was really interactive in the way that the weather system works. So it could rain, it could just be completely foggy, it could be very sunny, or it could be very dark. It also depends on the time of day in the game, so it doesn't reflect your real life. So time is going by quicker obviously in the game, so about every 5 seconds is a minute that's gone by. This is useful to know when you're building things because a lot of these NPCs, which I found a little frustrating, but at the same time it was like something that I really enjoyed, it was like a love-hate relationship, was the fact that NPCs do go to sleep at night. So if you really do need something during a certain hour that you were building, like you were building your house or something, you're not going to be able to access a lot of these features because the NPCs went to sleep, which you can see when you press M and you can see the map and see that NPCs are all basically in bed. It doesn't necessarily mean that all of them will be in bed, just the majority of them. Learning how to capture things like crickets, for example, or even using my bow and arrow to shoot down elk and just go foraging and stuff, I found myself having a lot of fun. And when it comes to MMORPGs, I come from the traditional way of, you know, going, raiding and doing all that stuff, but I found myself just hoarding a lot of things and building and just really enjoying myself for some strange reason, even though this isn't really my type of game. But many years ago, when it came to games like Minecraft, which a lot of this game really reminds me of, I found myself really enjoying that aspect, but I never tapped back into it. I found myself just really enjoying myself in this game, and even though, you know, it was full of creatures and stuff, I did wish I could see more players, and I did find it really cool that it has sort of a mobile system in the sense of when you need items items, you can request it from your guild or friends or whatever. They can fill the request. So let's say if you need a copper bar and your other friend Jimmy has a copper bar, they can actually send that to you so you can advance. So you're really helping each other out if you really want to. The skill system isn't really your traditional sense. It's more like, if you've played RuneScape, then I guess you'd understand that. You increase the levels of your nature-based skills, I guess you could call them. So let's say fishing or cooking, foraging, mining. When I was mining a lot, it really did remind me a lot of RuneScape, especially because in those early days when I was playing, I was focusing a lot on mining. And the fact that I was breaking down, let's say, copper ore, and I could get a chance of getting silver ore, I thought that was really cool. And it really brought me back to those days, and I was really enjoying myself. I found there to be a very nice balance of simplicity and complexity. So some things are complex in the game, but everything's explained. And if you're not patient and you kind of skip through everything, then you will definitely have issues with trying to figure things out. I did find there to be a beauty in the simple aesthetic that the game has. Just running around with the lights shining everywhere and going through the trees and stuff. I just found that to be really nice. And I did wish that combat-wise, even though it's not focused on combat, I wish if I wanted to jump or if I'm gliding or something, which I guess is a little bit of a spoiler, I could also take out my bow and arrow at the same time to shoot. I guess kind of referencing a little bit of Zelda, or if we're going into a more Unreal Engine territory, then I guess Starwind Project. I found the cooking animation to be cool, and it's all very simple, honestly. If you have the recipe, then you can just easily do it. And when you get into more advanced stages, instead of just using, for example, a campfire, you get a little mini games, which I found really cool. You know, they're very simple, honestly, but even just chopping, for example, garlic or mushrooms, I think was a cool way to interact with the system. Housing itself was really interesting. I found myself getting more involved with housing, even though I don't usually do, and I was kind of creating my house around this environment that was given to me in the game. So without going any further into it, just the overall aesthetic of the game, I think the fluidity of it, and not just that, but I guess being able to just play the game as you want it to be. I found myself going back in time playing games like Farmville. I know it's really weird, but Farmville, to be perfectly honest, like when you're building your house and you're upgrading it, there are an X amount of hours before it's actually completed. I had to wait those real time. But all in all, I found the game to be really fun. It's very casual, and I think a lot of people will probably bash it in the sense of calling it a Care Bear game or whatever, and I mean, I think that's what they're going for, right? They're going for a cutesy kind of game where you're just relaxing. And that's what this game is, and honestly, I really did enjoy it, and I am enjoying it. I'm still playing it right now. I definitely recommend it. I believe the closed beta is starting now. I had an NDA, so I wasn't allowed to release this video until it's out now, I guess. But if you are interested, or if you are playing, I will have a guide out for a specific quest that I got lost in. I figured maybe other people get lost in as well, so an easier way to just kind of get your first glider. So a special thanks to Singularity 6 for sending me an invite to this game. I do have some keys available to give away for the closed beta, but if you are interested in that, let me know in the comments below why you'd like to play this game, and I will be giving away a few keys. I'm not going to say how many, but I'll give away a few keys. So in 24 hours, I will choose the winners just by replying to your comments. There will be other ways to win as well. You can come over to my Discord. There will be some opportunities there as well. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with this, and again, thank you to Singularity 6 for, first of all, sponsoring the keys. Secondly, partnering up with Little Omi. I'm having a lot of fun with this, so thank you. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and click that adorable f***ing bell to know when I upload a brand new video. And don't forget to come join my Discord if you want to chat and hang out. Much love, and as always, till next time, friends.